Welcome to the amazing world of the MLP contest. That was the actual title of the panel, but I didn't communicate correctly, so it's just listed as MLP Comics here. But I'm still gonna have fun telling you all about the MLP Comics. Some of you might have been at the panel yesterday, the quite interesting quiz, where Jarvis already talked about the comics a bit. But I want to go deeper into the topic and just show you a lot of the more interesting, just more niche things that the comics have to offer. Like, he talked about a lot of the overall things like cool villain depictions and past and future what the G5 comics have to offer and stuff. But I want to show you more. And to start off with that, if anyone has any questions about the comics at any point, just raise your hand, just speak up or something, and I can just answer them to the best of my abilities. Yeah, so does anyone who was at the panel yesterday have any leftover questions that they want to get in deeper, any topics that you want to know more about? If not, I just go on with what I have planned.
Do it.
Okay. The comics have a lot of different things to offer, especially in the lore department. A lot of characters that fell too short in the actual show got a lot more development in the comics. My favorite example of that is King Sombra. We didn't see as much of him in the show. Like, he appeared once, had a few lines, then he disappeared for a few seasons and came back in season 9, and had and was defeated again. He had nothing of value. But the comics add that value in two different storylines. One storyline is called Reflections, and one storyline is called The Siege of the Crystal Empire. And I'm going to start with Reflections because I think it's more interesting. Because it goes into what one of the main things of the comics: more universes. We all know the Equestria Gods universe, but there are more than just the Equestria Gods universe. Stars were made more than one mirror, more than one portal to these worlds. And one of the portals
we cannot see the presentation.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up images as I go because I don't have a set presentation because I just want to wing it. That's going to make it more difficult for me, but just more free for everyone if anyone wants to hear something specific. So I'm trying to pull out the specific. My PC is doing stupid stuff.
Tech issues, woo!
Tech issues, yeah.
May I suggest, I should have suggested it right away. Windows P on the keyboard.
Yeah, I actually made it.
What you see there is the same thing.
Actually, I did it on purpose so that you don't look through the files I'm going through, but I don't care. I'm just gonna switch it back to PC screen only, so that we have.
No.
Oh, that was the wrong thing. Duplicate. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of files with a lot of different sorting things. And one of these folders is titled Sombra in the Other World. Now it doesn't do stuff funny. I don't like I don't like this one. Give me a second. Because there are no preview images, I need to preview them. Yeah, images are stupid. So I'm just going to pull up the comic itself, because I have a lot of PDF files. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I specifically sorted my files a little bit better so that it works better than at Galacon, where I pulled up the files when I wanted to. And now the files don't work correctly. So I have to do this. Which is good too, because seeing the entire comic is always a nice experience. And immediately you see Sombra just this storyline focuses on Sombra, but not our Sombra. The mirror world does have the storyline is called Reflections, and the mirror world has reflections of all our well-beloved characters. And this is the second issue of the storyline. Celestia. Okay. I don't know why it's so hard for me right now. It worked better for the icon. Maybe because what I prepared does not work as I want to.
Perhaps. So the mirror world, is this a bit like Equestria Girls? They
Exactly.
go through a mirror and then it's a different world?
Yeah, Star Wars actually make multiple of these mirrors. Or like, these mirrors have access to more than one dimension. And the mirror world is just one of these. Mirror is just a common name that they call it in the story itself, but it doesn't really have a specific name. But the point is, the characters are like the opposite of what they are in our normal world. Like Discord, for example. That is not Discord, that is Captain Good Guy. That's actually his name. It's incredibly stupid. And you see like a little statue of Pony with known cutie mark. Yeah, this world is a little bit in ruins because ever since Luna got reformed in our main universe, the other universes, Luna, went evil because the universes are connected. They weren't at the start. It's actually Celestia's fault that they are now, because in that story she went to the other universe too often. And when she did, she formed like a full-on connection between the two universes. And yeah, it is a problem. Stars will warn her about it. It is in my... I actually made a folder about that, but I hope it works. Star Wars research. It does not show what I wanted to show. Oh, I hate it.
Just use the preview, load it, open the app again, and then you see a preview.
I have no idea what to
Open it again.
Oh,
Like
the image.
Yeah. And then wait a bit and you'll see previews.
Oh, these.
Oh.
If
They're also not loading in.
Fuck it! Yeah, that's why I have the backup of the actual issues, but the actual issues make it harder to scroll through and show you exactly what I want you to see. Yeah. That is, and as a big example for the opposite versions of our characters. They have other elements of harmony, or like other elements in general. Fairness and humility. Eloquent Trixie, we all want Eloquent Trixie.
Yes, she's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, she is. And if I had the choice, I would take this Trixie in our universe and I want both Trixies in our universe, okay? Like, just get her here. And Flim and Flam are such amazing characters in general. Like, I love the two as a concept, and I think it's a bit unfair that they are turned into fairness, because like they aren't really unfair in general, in my opinion, but more like they are the scum of the earth. But I wouldn't call them unfair. But who cares? And the other two that we see here, that's like a bash on Derpy. Like poor Derpy, she isn't dumb. She is just a little bit
Wait, are her eyes straight as well on this?
silly. Silly, that's a good word.
Yeah.
But Chrysalis is easily my favorite of the bunch. Like, look at this design, it's gorgeous. I love Chrysalis and design in general. Just the succubus bug queen is just amazing. But the opposite version is a love. It's a love. It's different, and I love it. Like, this is how the reform changelings should look.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is just, the biggest example of the world being turned. And yeah, now we go back in time a bit in this comic. This is not the first comic storyline because I didn't really want to go through the entire storyline, but now I have to because my images aren't working. Yeah, Celestia went back and forth between the universes. Does anyone have an idea why she did that? Love, exactly. And what we do for love, she does everything she can to get her love, and she disrupts the balance of the universes. Because she is in love with the other universes, Sombra. And if I could, I would just put up a picture of Sombra, and there he is, yeah, King Sombra. Like, just simply dashing. I mean, look at even Fluttershy and Rarity. I mean, look. It's just so adorable to see Fluttershy with these hard eyes.
I mean, Rarity makes sense. It's royalty.
Yeah,
It's a free pass.
Yeah, but just Fluttershy with this admiring gaze. It's just so different and adorable. Like Discord would get jealous. And yeah, this is another thing that I can show you guys. The elements of harmony, but harm in a different way. We don't really explore them much in the storyline because the focus is somewhere in Celestia. But yeah, they also have other versions of the main six, and those are not good people. No, those are the expected ones actually. We have in the issue before that, or was it earlier? That's why I have the file sorted.
Maybe you can open that viewer again in the background and give it some time to load while you read the description. Maybe it's just slow as fuck.
It didn't work at all.
You could try copying the
Because
files
one
to
of
the
them
local
did.
folder.
Yeah, but
They are on a local folder.
But then OneDrive and it can't
Yeah.
sync because there's no internet connection, and I don't know if the previews.
Yeah, why don't you?
that.
There's free Wi-Fi here.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
connected.
it is connected to the Wi-Fi. Just the OneDrive doesn't work correctly.
What?
Let me just pull up the thing that I used at Galacon because that had the preview files. Because that's where all my files are stored in general. And I even pulled them over earlier to have them on a local source, but for some reason didn't put them on a local source, but on on the OneDrive. And my OneDrive is full. So, a giant folder of MLP stuff.
That's weird things and it's complicated.
Now
it's just one up there. Yeah.
Look at your organization.
Comic panel.
I mean, mine was organized, but I forgot to say.
Law, somewhere. Because now I can actually see the images and just pull the images up as I need them. This is way better. This is the one that I was searching for when I talked about Celestia. Just the love between them is just so adorable and pure to see. I didn't fully sort everything that I wanted to because my time was limited. I just got busy the past few weeks and just couldn't sort everything as I wanted. But now we can get into what I wanted to show you earlier. Starsworld's research. Because, as I said, he was the one who came up with the concept of the mirrors. And the Crystal God's mirror is just one of them. And during his time with Celestia, because she was the one who helped him with the mirror, they visited a few different universes. I mean, dinosaurs and MLP would be epic anyways, so I just want to see someone write a fan fiction where they visit this universe just to meet T-Rex Fluttershy's. Yeah. And they went to a lot of different universes. Whew. But Celestia did it a little bit too often, and it, as I said, it has consequences. It disassembles the balance of the universes, and just that is what caused this connection, which was the reason why the other worlds, Luna and Celestia, are not the ones that we know. But they look epic still. Like, this was Daybreaker before Daybreaker. Just an evil version of Celestia that we sadly only saw in that comic, but it still looks really epic. But the problem is, the universes are connected. They want to like beat. They obviously want to like get the universe back in balance. The problem is the connection. Yeah, if you hurt one of them, it hurts the other one. Just punch Celestia in one universe, the other Celestia gets hurt. That's, as you might expect, that could cause an issue when trying to save the universes. Yeah, but I don't want to hold myself on too long with this one comic because there is so much more to discover. As long as you don't want to hear like especially more about this one, because my god, I have tons about it to tell. One last thing that I want to show you is the last few panels of the storyline, because obviously they beat them in the end. The universe is almost collapsed at the end of it. Yeah, I have screenshots of a lot of the comics. Just for reasons that I make videos on the comics on the regular, so I need them as assets. And this is what should make this easier.
But where do you post the videos on YouTube? Or?
Yeah, on YouTube. Under the name DocAnubis, the name is in the panel, in the con guide. If you want to check it out, I'd appreciate it. But for now, watch the panel. Yeah. Like in the end, they are able to. Okay, before I go to the end, I'm going to show you Celestia at the most epic she has ever been. Because she isn't just the sitting around princess we know her as, she also is incredibly strong. Like, that's how Celestia should have been in the show. With that in mind, Daybreaker makes much more sense, like this fiery mane, because Celestia actually has those powers already. But the comics did it first. That is like a line I use a lot, because a lot of the show things that we've come to love, the comics did first and just made that idea a thing before the show often changed it or expanded on it. And an important example for that is the DocAnubis, but I'm not going to go into that because I did that at Galacon and there's much more that I want to talk about. Like? Oh, yeah. That's what I meant with burning powers. Like, she's literally hot. And Celestia almost sacrificed herself because she wanted to take responsibility. Because I mean, she was the reason why these universes, like, both of them were falling apart. I don't know if you're familiar with Marvel and the term of an incursion, just two universes crashing into each other and both getting destroyed in the process. That is what was happening here. And they just tried to get the universes back into balance. And the only way to do that was for someone to sacrifice himself. Celestia wanted to do it, but someone loved her too much. That's what love can do, because he decided, no, I'm going to be the evil one now, and I'm going to sacrifice myself, because I don't want the love of my life to do the same. I mean, I can blame neither of them. I would fall in love with both Sombra and Celestia if I had the chance. And yeah, this story turned into like the most tragic love story that I've ever seen in MLP. Because pulled apart by dimensions. And we are already struggling with long distance relationships across the planet. But they are struggling with it across the universes. I mean, yeah. It's sad, and I'm just almost crying thinking about it, because I know the full story. Because
I'm already crying.
she sadly had to say goodbye to him. Like it's, I need to not cry during the panel. Sombra is such a great character in the comics. This was the Otherworld Sombra, but now I want to get into our Sombra. Yeah?
How much did you cry when you first read that storyline?
How about this?
Appropriately enough.
I think that answers the question.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I took a break after those comics. Like, I'm usually a binge reader, just reading everything I can, just boom, 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 boom. But after those, I was just taking a break, just sitting around for a bit, crying my heart out, just staring into the distance. I really recommend it. The storyline is called the Reflection storyline. It is issue 17 to 20 of the main franchise of Magic Comics. But now I want to get into the Siege of the Crystal Empire. Yeah, because we have our Sombra too. We want to know about our Sombra. And he was more than you think. If you was at the panel yesterday, you already know that Sombra isn't a pony. He is an Umbra, a creature of the shadows, just a living shadow basically. And that is the wrong issue. I need to. I don't know if I was already at that point in sorting. I was not. The folder was empty, so I'm just gonna go through this because why not? Because these comics are what give Sombra an actual backstory. In the normal world, he just appears, and we don't know what he is, why he is. We just know he attacked the Crystal Empire, right? But yeah, there's more to him than that. And that more to him is, once again, love, for at least some part. The comics go a lot into like more love-related things in the show, especially Big Mac related. But I'm going to get into that after this because I need to talk about that again, even if I talked about that at GanaCon. Sombra was an Umbra. He couldn't. He was sent by the Umbra, an ancient race of pony, not even pony-like, just these shadow creatures, to take over the Crystal Empire for them. Because in ages past, they were the rulers of the Crystal Empire before Princess Amore, the princess of the Crystal Empire, just decided, yeah, no, not anymore. And her love magic sealed them away in a far-off wasteland. Even the sisters don't know about them. Like, that was before the time of the Royal Sisters. In an Arctic wasteland. For generations they were used as a prison. A prison for basically only the Umbrums, as far as we know. I assume there are more creatures hidden there, but sadly not even the comics get more into them. And yeah. She doesn't, like... Okay, yeah.
Is just out of curiosity, these shadow creatures, is that the same creature that possessed Stygian in the show?
No, that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
Stygian is a whole... Like, there are multiple kinds of shadow creatures in the comics.
It's the same type that's possessed Luna, right?
It is... Like, it is theorized that it's the same type, but it's never confirmed. But it's very likely. Because in the comics we learned that Luna wasn't just... she didn't just turn on her own, but she was possessed by a kind of shadow creature. And actually in a very similar way to Stygian. So as you said, it's very likely that it's the same, but we never actually get confirmation of that. But we see another pony getting corrupted by it. Rarity. Nightmare Rarity might be a term for some people. That is not a fan character. That is an actual canon character from the comics. I can talk about her too later, but I talked about her at GanaCon already, so I want to mix it up. Yeah. And this storyline is just based on how do we bring Sombra back? Because there's one pony called Radiant Hope that knows Sombra from ages past, like from the time when they were fillies. And she invades the Crystal Empire with the help of some minor villains. But she is Sombra's childhood friend, basically. and she is here to bring him back. And she is very talented in healing magic and can actually bring back somewhere from the pieces that are left in his castle. And yeah, I can already say it, she loves him. Like those were more than childhood friends. And she did everything in her power to return him to life. Because like she was actually the one guilty, or like, the reason why Sombra was sealed in the first place. Because she told Celestia and Luna about him and his powers and his relation to the Umbrum, because she thought they would help him. But in the end, they just sealed him away. So good intentions, bad outcome for them. And she only learned more about the species when later visiting the Umbrum inside their cage. That's where she was for the 1,000 years that Sombra was sealed away. Because she didn't age in that prison and just continued to exist until returning to bring back Sombra. And yeah, he returned together with the help of the other villains, mainly Chrysalis, Flim and Flam, Iron Will and Lightning Dust. It's an odd combination, but Radiant Hope she was good at manipulating, or at least getting ponies on her side. She promised most of them revenge against the main six when bringing Sombra back. And that's why they helped, just being a distraction against, being a distraction to give her time to get into the castle and do what she wanted to do and bring back Sombra. And even Celestia and Luna didn't have much of a chance when all these villains were working together. And you know it's bad when the princesses are turned to stone. I mean, that's only it happens 2 times. This time and in the movie. So and you know, yeah, Chrysalis is a hoot in the comics. She has a lot of funny moments and scary moments, especially. That's just. I'm going to go on a quick side note here because I want to. I have a folder called Scary Art and References, and there's one for Chrysalis herself.
Oh my god.
Because the comics have such an amazing art style that show her such a. I actually get scared when I see her in the comics because, I mean, the way they depict her.
Oh, wow.
It's way scarier than what we see in the show. Like Andy Price is the artist of these comics, especially for the ones that Sombra and Chrysalis are involved in, and he just has a way with Chrysalis. I have no idea if that's true, but I would just guess that they are the Chrysalis and Sombra are some of his favorite characters, because he puts so much effort into these images, and also in the story, because you might have heard something about Chrysalis actually killing off a cat in the comics. She did. She did. And right in front of the CMC, it's implied that she's eating that cat. So, yeah, what a good thing for a child to see. But I could just go on because there's a lot more of epic Chrysalis frames, because why don't we ever see something like this in the show? An epic fight, a full-on fight between Twilight and Chrysalis. And yeah, of course, in the end, Twilight is the one that wins. Because Twilight is Twilight. There's no question that she will win in the end. Yeah. That's a whole different thing. Pinky likes her Pinkie Pie costume. Like, she is wearing a costume of herself in this comic. But back to Sombra. That was the storyline. Let me go to the next issue, issue 36. Yeah, now I'm going through the entire story anyways. I don't care. Because this is one of the best stories that we have. More of Enterprise artwork. Just Sombra being... Sombra is not impressed by Chrysalis. Like, Chrysalis helped him get out, but he doesn't appreciate it as much as he as expected. And actually, the plan was for them to just take over, to split Equestria apart. Just after Sombra defeated the main six, they wanted to like rule Equestria like, together and stuff. But Chrysalis doesn't want that anymore because as she learns that the Umbrum are the ones that are behind behind this, she realized that that it will be an issue for her because the Umbrum do not have any love to give. She actually met the Umbrum in ages past. I like that word, ages past. Because Chrysalis is old, right? Like, and she has some history with the Umbrum. She was at the Crystal Empire back when they ruled. Back then, just a little bit more spry, not even having her holes yet. She gets the holes later on. And just realizing this kingdom is void of all love. No, and if the Umbrum return, then all of Equestria would just get rid of all its love. And that's the time when she decides that she doesn't want to work together with Sombra anymore, and actually just leaves. Like, she doesn't really try to fight for herself, she just runs away. Yeah. Sadly, she doesn't actually bite or eat lightning dust. We were very sad about that.
Are we?
I know we have lightning dust fans here, but yeah, it would have been funny.
Lightning dust fans, you one.
Yeah.
The only one.
But obviously, it's the whole point of the story. The Umbrum actually return. But that's not the end of it. Even if all of our heroes, like Celestia and Luna, are turned to stone, the main six are imprisoned this time. Because not even they can defeat all these villains together. Like, villain team-ups are always scary, and yeah, you know it. But we still have one more issue to go, because that's the important part. We now have learned that Sombra isn't a poly. He comes from a different species, but he doesn't like.
Your file names are funny.
Oh, the file names. Yeah, Edgala kind of just pulled up a few images and you could see some file names. I had a lot of fun with these file names. When making my videos just to sort them because it would be boring to just leave the screenshot title. Yeah. But the point of the story is, love, as I said, love once again. Because how do you beat an opponent that has the power of an entire species on his side? You reform him. And the way to reform Sombra was once again through love. He, at this point, he was doubting if what he's doing was the right thing. And he actually still plays he still fights together with the Umbrum for a while. But at some point he realizes, yeah, no, it's a bad idea. And especially because Radiant Hope. Radiant Hope is, he loves Radiant Hope as much as she loves her. Like, you see the devotion in these two. She spent 1,000 years inside a crystal prison learning about another species for him. I mean, and who would betray someone like that? And that's when he decides, that he does not want to stay true to his species, and rather stays true to his love, and just takes the crystal heart that she stole, the crystal heart, the heart of the Crystal Empire. We all know what that is, and the crystal heart is what is stealing the Umbrum away. So it's at that point, Sombra returns the crystal heart to where it belongs, to reseal the Umbrum, they get just pulled back into the door, and are forever sealed away, never to be seen again, so far. I honestly wish that we see them in G5, but I don't expect it. Because the Umbrum have such untapped potential. We have a little bit of backstory for them, but I basically told you all we know, which is not a lot. Yeah, but he is almost just... He is an Umbrum. He would have been pulled away too, but with the help of all the princesses, they actually reform Sombra magically so that he returns to his dashing normal form. This was a nice throwback to the Reflections comic because they have the same design now. It's beautiful. Or handsome.
Wait, so there's now a divergence in plot between the comics where the Sombra is a normal guy now, and the show where he was pulverized 2 more times.
Exactly. That's why some people think, say that the comics aren't canon. But I have a very far-fetched explanation for that I can share with you guys. Because this is the one who brings Sombra back in season 9, right? And a theory that I've discussed with a friend of mine is that he didn't actually bring the Sombra back that we know. He just created an image of him. He created a Sombra himself to fight against the main 6. It's a very far-fetched theory because we don't have any evidence for it. The only reason I have for this theory is that I want the comics to be canon.
There is a real reason, because Andy Price and the comic team asked Hasbro, what can we do? What characters don't you want to use? Hasbro said use Discord. We don't want to use Discord anymore, so they did. Then they changed their mind in season 9. They brought it back.
You mean Sombra with Discord?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Does that mean the Sombra in the group in the other dimension is now evil? Or?
I don't think so, because at the end of the Reflection storyline, they basically cut the connection between the two universes. I was thinking about the same thing when I read it first, but I needed to check back to realize it likely is cut off by now. Just the connection is completely cut off. Otherwise, Celestia would go back. Because, why wouldn't you? I want Sombra too. But that is the story of how our Sombra returned to a good form. But then he galloped off into the distance together with Radiant Hope, never to be seen again. They actually set it up for a sequel because Sombra turned the previous ruler of the Crystal Empire, Princess Amuro, to stone, and then sheltered her, and just scattered her all across Equestria. And those two were supposed to go on a journey to gather all these pieces and put her back together. But sadly, not even the comics ever followed up on that. So this is the last time we ever see them, which is very sad because there is so much story to tell with these two, and I want to read fan fictions about that.
I heard one theory about that Prince Cadence was found as a Pegasus infant. I read theory that she's actually one of the fragments.
I never considered her to be one of the fragments and rather just a descendant.
Because her connection to the practical crystal mind, he crystal heart as PT mind.
Yeah.
It's just theory I hear.
No, it's actually really, I assume that's the case.
Because it's random Pegasus, what?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Cadence was found as an orphan Pegasus. Just that is actually confirmed. That is in one of the books that actually Jim Barrow wrote, the guest of honor that we have here, and Twilight and the Crystal Heart spell. And there we hear that she was found as an Pegasus filly and just adopted by Celestia basically. And at one point she proved herself to be capable of this love magic and gained Aliconhood. And and in the end took over the Crystal Empire. And in this storyline actually, Radiant Hope, who knew the actual Princess Amore, mentions that the love magic of Cadence and Amore is basically the same. So there has to be a connection between the two. If it's that Cadence actually is a fragment of it, or if she is a descendant of her, that's debatable. Both is possible, but it's Equestria, so a fragment could turn into a pony. I don't want to rule that out, but I think a descendant would be more likely. Yeah, but both is possible. And yeah, that's it for Sombra. And I only have like 15 minutes left. Sombra is a big part of the comics, and I love him for it. Because, as I said, the show did not do enough of him. But I still want to talk about Princess Big Mac. That's a lie, I just want to talk about Big Mac. Because we don't see Princess Big Mac again, but Big Mac is a stud in the show and in the comics. In the comics even more than in the show. It was like one of my first videos I made. Because I need to load. And then just sort them better. Yeah, you just saw the final picture in the folder. Princess Luna kissing Big Mac. That's a whole different thing, because that actually isn't Luna. That is a creature possessing Luna's body. But some people were here yesterday when Jawas talked about Cosmos. I don't want to get into Cosmos because he covered her decently well. Basically another Draconicus and Discord's ex-girlfriend. More powerful than Discord even. But yeah, in the comics, Big Mac goes to this festival just to get nails. But for some reason he ends up crashing first into Fleetfoot, who falls in love with him. I mean, it's once again a thing of who wouldn't. Like, look at her view of him. Like, that's a stud. And like, she imagines an entire life with him. Getting married, growing old together. Yeah, but she is not the only one in that comic. Okay, now I have a few close-ups of these. Fleetfoot retires. The Wonderbolts disband because they lost their best flyer. You can see that it's Fleetfoot's imagination. So her ego is similarly big to Rainbow Dash, because she sees herself as the best flyer of the Wonderbolts. That's like the most characterization Fleetfoot ever got. Which is very sad because I really like her.
Justice for Fleetfoot.
And that's a very sad thing because she is throwing away the comics. It breaks my heart. Like, I could never be with her because she throws away my comics. As you have probably noticed, I'm obsessed with the comics.
No, really.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Children! Yeah, they made children, and they are cute, and I'm sad we didn't get to see them. But Sugar is fine too. But yeah, Fleetfoot is not the only one in the comic that falls for... in that comic she has a lot of these shirts. And Fleetfoot isn't the only one that falls for Big Mac in this comic. Yeah, Luna just has some fun time with Big Mac. Yeah. Night moves, just a few funny shirts. Yeah, they won a lot of contests together. And that in the end led to the image that you saw, that you might have seen. Because that is the actual Luna, that is our Luna. Just kissing Big Mac on the Ferris wheel. Like, And it's still not over. He has already made found 2 love interests in that in this park and stuff, in this festival. But before Luna kisses him, he crashes into another pony. That pony is comic exclusive. She's called T-Love, and she has a tea shop in Canterlot and is in Ponyville for the festival. We only know that she has a tea shop because we see her an issue later in the storyline where we hear about how Kate and the Tiny Armor got together. Yeah, as I said, the comics have a lot of love. Yeah, as Fleetfoot does, she also imagines an entire life with Big Mac. But she is more spy-themed. I mean, just some spies adventures together. It's adorable. Mac. Big Mac.
Yes.
And she's beautiful, so I would understand if Big Mac got with her. But Big Mac has 5 love interests over the course of the show. I count them, of course. 3 ponies in this comic. Then we have Cheerly, who also appears in this comic, and both of these, T-Love and Fleetwood, get jealous over seeing Big Mac with Cheerly. Then we have Sugarbell and Marble Pie, 6 characters that are potential love interests for Big Mac. But I guess that happens when you are the only stallion in the vicinity. That's MLP for you. Yeah, but I needed to talk about Big Mac because
he get the nails in the end.
He did get the nails in the end, but that's very much secondary because the love is more important. Stalker behavior, but it's just a minor red flag. Can be overlooked.
It's okay when comics do it.
It's always okay when comics do it. Okay, and we still have a bit of time, and I want to talk about another. If no one has a request for a specific story, yeah.
Can you maybe show us the Luna is controlled picture?
I can show you. I can talk about Luna being controlled.
Just 3 before that.
Yeah, I have. I need some water. Sorry. This one is dry. So I'm gladly talking about Cosmos again, even if Jarvis did, I guess that already. Cosmos is an Draconicus, same as Discord. We never see other Draconici in show and such, but yeah, that's Cosmos, but we see her in the comics. She's not from the show. Oh yeah, but those are both comic characters.
Okay.
Ares is the other one that you were mentioning, Discord's cousin, another Draconicus. And she appears in a Nightmare Night storyline. That's a whole spin-off series to the normal comics. And she is another spirit of chaos. So different to Cosmos, because Cosmos is actually not a spirit of chaos. Do I have Cosmos stuff in a folder? I do not.
No.
I really didn't have as much time to.
There was a Cosmos picture in the earlier one with Big Mac.
There were Cosmos pictures here, but not as much lore focus, just images of Cosmos, because Cosmos looks epic. This is one of her final forms, because she goes through development inside the storyline. Yeah, this is the other Draconicus I was talking about. Discord's toxic ex-girlfriend. And at the time, right before Discord returned to Stone, he met her. And she was the actual reason for all the chaos and destruction in Equestria. And not Discord. Discord just had his fun. back to this. Like there are here only a few of the Cosmos pictures. So I think I have to pull up the comic. I need to check which issue. Even I don't have the issue numbers in my head. 75 to 78.
What a shame.
Okay. 76. Yeah, Cosmos. I only have screenshots of the panels up to issue like 40 something, because that's where I am with my videos. But yeah, she is the actual reason that everything got destroyed, because Discord is a wimp. And let himself like get beaten up by his girlfriend. Like she is toxic and as hell, and just has this. She has him wrapped around her finger. And during the storyline, the princesses, or first Gravity finds one of these gems that we see here. I don't have a better close-up shot right now. And these are fragments of Cosmos. And she is, that's what she is sealed in. And those were scattered around the quest tree. I think there are 7 or something. I'm not entirely sure right now. And yeah, one of them was found, which set the whole storyline off and just caused Cosmos to slowly return and just take over one pony after the other, including the princesses, because she was obviously searching for strong individuals, because she wanted to regain her own power. 78, the final one, the most important one, because it has the coolest art, because it's again Andy Price. It's not a secret that Andy Price is like my favorite and like, in my opinion, best comic artist. And yeah, they do their best to fight against this creature, because she is stronger than Discord at that point. They are both Draconici, they are both gaining power through concepts. Discord gets more powerful the more chaotic it is, while Cosmos gets more powerful the more malice is around, the more destruction is around, because she is the spirit of, where is the cool picture? Oh, there it is. She is not a spirit of chaos, but she is personified malice. She is like the strongest being a Equestria has ever seen, and actually just the biggest threat that Equestria has ever faced. And I have no idea how, like, only Discord and all the tribe leaders of all the different species in the My Little Pony universe together were able to defeat this creature. And without Discord's help, they would never have been able to beat her. And same again in this storyline, because yeah, oh, I love this artwork. I did not remember this artwork, and just seeing it right now again, it looks so epic. Yeah, they are all working together to sit in a silly way, beat her up, and just take the power from her again. And then Discord goes full Ghostbuster and says, yeah, now you're gone again. Just sealing her away for good this time. Because after taking away the power she gained from the other ponies, she was not as powerful as him anymore, obviously. And just was sealed away. And Fluttershy, Discord und Fluttershy Hack, wunderschön. I don't know why I switched to German for a second. Beautiful.
Wunderschön.
Yeah. What did you say? Yeah. Cosmos is one of the best storylines the comics have to offer. I recommend you reading it for yourself. Or I'm available to talk more about that stuff after the panel. because I obviously love talking about the comics. And yeah. But now I had like 2 more stories in mind that I wanted to talk about.
May I suggest last 5 minutes?
Oh yeah.
For those of us who are not in the know already. So first of all, I'm interested. Physical comics versus digital. Here's the resolution and quality, image quality. Like, is there anything there?
I would prefer to have them physically, but they are really hard to get in original language like outside of the US. And most of the digital versions that, for example, like some sites that I'm not going to name right now have, most of them are really good, but some of them are not. Like I worked on the storyline a few days ago called Ponies of the Dark Water. 2 of the issues of the storyline were like really good and like really high quality, and 1 of them was really poor. So if you can get your hands on physical copies just for the reading experience, I think it's better. Because like the digital versions don't have as much quality as.
What about obtaining digital versions legit?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It exists too.
I've read most of the comics through the official IDW app, and they're actually really high quality there. Really good readable.
I'm sorry, I'm not that familiar with the legal ways. But I know there's an official app, and you can purchase them digitally there. And then they usually have like the best image quality you can hope for. I still prefer the feeling of a book in my hand, but you get the full quality in like the online version too.
That's a bit annoying though, because they used to have IDW apps for each like comic series, so they had an IDW MLP app in itself, and then at some point they merged everything into one app for IDW. And it's a bit annoying to, I don't know if they updated it by now, it has been a while since the last MLP FIM comics have been released. They updated it, but it was a really hassle to get everything in one place, because oftentimes you would look up Friendship is Magic or just My Little Pony, and you would not find most of the comic arcs that, like, you would mainly just find the main comic, or if you specifically looked up for a storyline. But for discovering all the different like spin-off comics that were there, it was not good at all.
Even for other people, it's hard to discover all the spin-offs because there is not. The only decent database is the MLP wiki that has a list of all the storylines. But even then, it's hard to like keep track of everything. I just was able to because I went through all of them on a different page, not even downloading them, just getting them in other ways. I know that's the broken thing, but I have it screenshotted here still. That's a different thing.
Yeah, read the comics.
A friend of mine made this just like a week ago or something.
Was that fit?
Here. I have 2 images here of all the storylines that exist. Like those are the series and spin-off titles, and as you can see, there are a lot. I think if you count all of them, like you go over 200 issues if you want to read all of them. There are like 102 for the main series, then like 30 for Friends Forever, then the micro series with like 10 or 16 more or something. Like you go easily over 200 if you count all of them. Any more questions? Yeah.
Hi, you've been mainly talking about the G4 comics, but you know, as someone who also read all of the G4 comics and just like you would argue that better than the show, I was wondering, the G4 comics in my opinion are so good because they are a lot more daring and like, you know, with the imagery you've shown as well, like a bit more traumatizing even. Are the G5 comics like in the similar vein to the show compared to G5, like more daring, like more mature even in the themes, or?
Sadly, not as much as I would like them to. The G4 comics seem to have way more freedom than the G5 comics. I wanted to talk about the G5 comics, but I kind of lost myself in Sombra. In Sombra's eyes too, but mostly in Sombra. yeah, they have a few good storylines that go a little bit deeper. Like mostly the main story that we had so far was the Discord storyline in the G5 comics. And, just Discord returning and doing some shenanigans, but nothing as bad as we saw in the G4 comics. The only thing I might argue, if I would just okay, we technically don't have time anymore, but I can still keep talking.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, there's no panel after this, so I can just keep going.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I can just give me a sec to pull up the G5 comic that I'm talking about, because G5 had a lot of good comics too. I'm not as much in love with the G5 comics as I am with the G4 comics. What are you doing? Yeah, there are 17 issues so far, but the most important ones are issues like, I think it was number 2.
I really liked the one where they swapped 2D marks.
Yeah, that's the newest one. That's the newest one, that's issues 16 and 17, and that's the one that isn't finished yet. But there's like the 4th time that QT marks get switched in MLP.
Yeah,
but it's a really good one, yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that there's another Deus Ex Machina creature called Milky Way that can just grant wishes for some reason. But they really work well with comparing, like having them get into each other's roles and just learning more about them, about the other one. But I'm going to finish this one first because Discord returns, and he is our main guy if it comes to G4 lore at this point, because the comics have more freedom to talk about that, because as GM Barrow said in her panel earlier, they need to fucking pay if they want to mention Twilight Sparkle. But the comics have apparently more freedom, and yeah, they show that Opaline, or like a pony that to me looks like Opaline, was the cause of the conflict in G4, which then led to the conflict between the species and to the unrest in the entire world, which led to the creation of the crystals and just the peace all around. And now Discord is scared again that that everything could go to shit again, because magic is back. Because magic was the problem back in G5 4 times. So now he's just saying no more magic, or no more mutants. I love these references. Just another Marvel reference. No more mutants just was a giant event in Marvel history that just wiped all the mutants from existence. And they made a funny reference to it, and he just decided no more magic for anyone because he doesn't want them to have trouble again and just fight again, he even is trying to destroy the crystals in a later comic, in issue 10, I believe. So let me switch to if I should stop, then somebody can tell me, but I
don't care. Like, as long as I'm here.
But if people have somewhere else to be, it's fine if they go.
Just go.
But everyone who still wants to listen to me, they can keep listening to me. Or just talk to me directly.
Charity auction is in 15 minutes.
40 minutes. 40.
Yeah, so that's still time.
Yeah, then I can finish talking about Discord at least, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah. And genuinely, in G4 and G5, I prefer the comics over the show. There is like a switch right now in G5 because the show has gotten significantly better in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5.
Okay.
But the comics are still really amazing. I skipped like one important story. It's not like in G4. In G4 they had like 4 issues of one storyline and then finished the storyline. But in G5 they had one important issue then like 2 slice of life issues, and then another important issue, and then 2 more slice of life issues. And I skipped one of the important ones to skip to number 10, because it's the one where, where the emotions happen. Discord is trying to destroy the crystal in a volcano that is mentioned in a Daring Do book only. Like in a fictional book, so we couldn't ever know that that something like that exists. But apparently there is a lava cave that can destroy these magic crystals for some reason. But obviously our friends just do their best to stop him. The comics feel less saturated in the show for some reason. Like the colors are less vibrant, but
I don't mind that. I think that's a good thing. To me, the G5 was too vibrant, especially the contrast between the characters and the background.
Yeah, I can understand that. They have really like strong colors and strong color schemes.
Yeah, I mean in G5.
This could just doing an Elastigirl and just leaving them to die in the lava. Okay, he doesn't leave them to die. He actually he doesn't want the ponies to get hurt. He just tries to keep them safe and just that they don't interfere with his plan. But Perhage still if he does one wrong step, he and all the bunnies die. So we would be more sad about the bunnies, obviously.
Of course.
So cute.
Of course.
For some reason, Izzy reminds Discord of Fluttershy, actually. You would think that Hitch reminds him of Fluttershy, because of the animal connection and stuff, but from a character standpoint, Izzy actually fits Fluttershy very well, because Izzy has a lot of insecurities, but she hides them mostly. The comics explore them more. I really recommend checking out the G5 comics because I don't have time to get as deep into the characterization, because the comics have a lot of characterization. Yeah. The other story has the comic I skipped has a message from Fluttershy from the past. There's a crystal that can store a message, so she talks to him through this crystal just as a blast from the past, and he obviously doesn't want to hear it. He is still scarred by losing Fluttershy. I mean, I think a lot of us know the Fate of the Immortal stories that the fandom has come up with over the years. Just what happens if all the friends of Twilight or Discord die? How do the Immortals deal with that? And Discord especially for Fluttershy, he is traumatized. He feels pain living without her, and I feel pain when I see this image. A kind of ghost Fluttershy that it pulls my heartstrings so much. She isn't actually there. I got comments when I made a video about this. I got comments asking, "What? Fluttershy is a ghost now? How did this happen?" No, she's not a ghost. This is just symbolism for her still being there for him after all these years and without I'm crying. It's
Same.
I just took a lot of screenshots because I needed to figure out what to make for the thumbnail of the video, because I needed to take this image because he's amazing. Yeah. She recorded a final message for him because she did not want him to go down the road that he went now, but he never had the courage to listen to the full message. He was too heartbroken by losing her that so he never listened to the full story that Fluttershy had to tell him. And it's really sad, but after what she said here, where is it? I'm creating a message for you in hopes that every time you feel overwhelmed, you can listen back and remind yourself why anger is not the answer. The comics also go in a lot of into more lessons than the show sometimes, and dealing with anger, dealing with loss and stuff. Discord never went through the full cycle of grief, it seems at least, and only now, after all these years, with the help of Izzy, who reminds him of Fluttershy, as I said, he is able to let it go, give the ponies another chance with magic, and just is happy to be around. Yeah, they also explore Canterlot. Canterlot is in ruins in G5, and the comics are the only thing that show it. Yeah, backstory was in the comic too. Argyle and Sunny. Argyle told Sunny stories about Canterlot and the Gate of the Ancients, which is the gate to Canterlot they established later during Twilight's rule. It's yeah, that's the thing with Izzy. They kind of left her alone at some point in the storyline. Just yeah, this is what she felt left out, and this is kind of what reminded him of Fluttershy. Like this shy. She puts herself behind all the others. Just if the others have fun, she doesn't really try to interfere much, even if she would like to be more involved and stuff. And Discord saw that and saw the resemblance to Fluttershy. Yeah, Discord is having fun now. He's just part of the group, and then we never see him again.
Okay.
Even the comics don't talk more about Discord, and it's sad, and it's a big criticism on the comics for a lot of people that they put out Discord like that, but then just ignore him. Yeah, but I guess that's what it is for Discord. But at least he was there. But at least he came back, and I genuinely love his design. Like old Discord is just amazing. Like that's what you expect to happen after 1,000 years of being, thousands of years. We don't know how long the time skip has been of being lonely and without his friends.
Yeah, they only say moons all the time, but what is a moon?
And even then, we don't know how long it's been in moons. Even the closest we have is that in chapter 5, the Breezy said something that they never had visitors in hundreds of moons. But even that's vague. Even that's vague even in moons. So we have no idea how long it's
could also be thousands of moons. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, the newest chapter also talks about Moondancer as the great something aunt of Elderflower, one of the unicorns of Bridlewood. And those are the only hints that we got at the time frame, how long it's been since G4. But none of those are really quantifiable how long it's actually been. Especially when you talk about a pony like Elderflower, who talks as if she was at Shining Armor and Caden's wedding, and then also talks about Moondancer as a really old relative. So it's vague. We don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know it. But I hope they are explaining more. But as far as it goes now, the comics are the deepest thing we have about the backstory in G4. And I think that's a good point to end it on.
And I just have a one sentence answer about something. Back to G4. What's your favorite comic that's not the main MLP FIM comic?
Okay. I mostly focus on the main series. But I think if I had to choose something, the Nightmare Night storyline. That's the storyline of Luna and teaming up with reformed villains and just fighting Ares, that other Draconicus that I mentioned earlier. And if anyone wants to talk more about the comics, I'm always available here at the Comic. If you see me and just talk to me about the comics, I'm always happy to do so. Even on Discord, if you just message me on Discord and want to talk to me about comics, I'm there. I have a Discord server. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a link to my Discord server if you want to check it out. And I think that's enough self-advertisement for now. Read the comics.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here because I already am 15 minutes out of time.